Hi, this is Thomas from Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie from Believe in the Run.
And today we're coming to you from a unique location.
We're like in a bunker.
Yeah, it's our shelter. We are sheltering in my place.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're just here from the living room. We're keeping our distance.
Of one and a half feet.
But we're taking it serious. You take it serious, but we're still going to be here to provide you some entertainment. So check it out. We're going to show you
The Saucony Endorphin line.
Nice. We got the Shift,
The Speed,
and the Pro. So let's get into it. Why don't we start, what do you think? We start from maybe the one that I was the least excited about that turns out to be something that I am actually pretty much digging pretty hard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm gonna start off with the Shift. It is their daily trainer out of this lineup. Still has the speed roll technology built in, which is the platform that they're using. I wouldn't quite call it a rocker midsole, but it's their version of that type of technology.
Right.
And it's a little bit thicker on stack height, but the drop, 4mm drop on this versus the 8mm drop we're gonna see in the faster shoes.
Yeah.
But the cruising ability of the shoe is fantastic. Like the feel is really nice.
It looks like a Cadillac drop low, rolling down the road, shifting.
Do they have stick shifts in Cadillacs? Probably not.
I think it's too much work when you're like
it is.
laid back. You don't want to shift.
Anyway, the Shift. This is a Shift.
There it is.
Good segue there.
You're welcome.
What I like about the Shift, upper fit's great. It's very breathable. You've got a gusseted tongue. I always love a gusseted tongue. If you don't know what a gusseted tongue is, it's when the tongue is attached to the sides and goes down the side of your foot, really locking you in over the top of the shoe. Lacing was fine. You can actually see it might accommodate a wider foot because I've got mine tightened up pretty tight here.
And we haven't had Jarrett try these shoes out. I kind of would have liked to get his thoughts,
but then he would have wanted to put my shoe on his foot.
And he's quarantined right now and scared of every human alive.
And his foot would probably just destroy this shoe. Anyway, moving on, it's got that really nice padded collar. For something that's as rigid as it is, no heel lift in this. It doesn't have a plate in it, but it is pretty rigid, and that's just the buildup of this Power Run midsole.
Yep.
You can almost see. It's got that springy
Just a
feel
little
to
spring.
it. It's got a Power Run midsole with Power Run Plus on top.
And what is the Power Run midsole made out of?
I think it's PU.
It's not.
Okay. Hey, Robbie, what is the Power Run Plus topsole made out of?
So the Power Run Plus topsole is, hold on. The Power Run is EVA.
Yeah.
The Power Run Plus is, no, isn't it? You're right. I thought we were just talking about the Power.
I was right. So, Robbie, why don't you lay it on the people? What is in this midsole?
All right, I'm gonna try to not get this confused because there's like 3 variations of Power Run. So this is a typical Power Run midsole, which is the newest cushioning from Saucony.
EVA.
It is EVA, but every Power Run midsole also has a Power Run Plus topsole. And the Power Run Plus topsole is made out of PU, polyurethane, and according to Saucony, it's 25% lighter, 3 times more durable than the typical Power Run foam. So by putting on that topsole, you're gonna get a little bit of an extra bounce with hopefully lighter weight.
And you feel it in this. That's the same makeup that's in the Kinvara, but this shoe feels totally different than the Kinvara. Totally different.
What's the difference between a typical shoe like the Kinvara and
I mean, the Kinvara, it didn't have as much softness to the midsole. If you're asking me what are the shoes I would compare this to, I'd say it has a lot of that Hoka Clifton feel, but in a little bit of a peppier package. It almost is what I would have loved the Zoom Fly to be from Nike.
Okay.
Because it's got that stack height, it's got that roll, it's got that rigidity in there, but the landing is really nice on the feet. I've been using this for easy miles and recovery miles, and it's like a treat. It really is. It weighs a little more. You'll give people the weight. But before we get there, just another note on this. You're gonna see back here for the heel counter, you got a TPU piece, both sides. Overall, the lock and feel, the softness of the shoe, fit, breathability, cushion, A+.
All right, that's what we like to hear.
Where it falls back a little bit, it ain't light.
That's true.
I mean, we're not talking super heavy. It's still under 11 ounces.
Yeah, it's 10.1 ounces or 286 grams. So it's It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
And I did find myself, I was doing an easy run. I ran into Meg out on the street, and I wanted to pick up the pace to catch up with her and stay with her for a little while.
Story of Thomas's life.
Exactly. So, chase her down, and I found myself feeling pretty comfortable at a faster pace in this shoe. I haven't been pushing my pace in this shoe because I had the Pro and was pushing the pace in that shoe. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but before we get there, Robbie, why don't you break down the Speed for him?
So this is the Speed, the middle brother / sister.
It's hard to see.
I can't tell.
Yeah.
Of the
it's like
family.
a snake.
This is a very fast shoe that's comparable to the Endorphin Pro, the one above it, the higher tiered one, but it's just a little bit different. Now, it embodies pretty much all of the same characteristics as the Pro, minus a different plate. So the Pro has a carbon fiber plate, which we'll get into more. This has the TPU S-shaped plate in it. It's full length, it goes the whole way down the shoe. Comparable feel to the Endorphin Pro, but I would say this shoe actually feels a touch softer, and in fact a lot softer. So when you're getting that toe off, you're not getting that hard spring that you do on the Pro, but you do get a nice propulsive feel off the toe.
And I love that midsole material in the Pro. Tell me, how does it translate in the Speed?
Honestly, it feels the exact same, pretty much the midsole and the cushioning. I'd say really the only difference that I've experienced between this and the Pro is that the Pro has that firmer toe.
And what is this midsole material?
It's called the Power Run PB, and it's made of Piba foam.
And if you're familiar with Piba, that's something like what was in their old Everrun material or in the Boost material.
Right, and a lot of people are calling out Saucony saying, oh, that looks like Boost, and yeah, well, that's what Piba foam, that's what it's gonna look like.
But I will tell you, from my experience with Boost, this is another animal.
Yeah, it's completely different. It does provide that really nice cushioning underfoot while giving it that bounce and that responsiveness that you really want out of a shoe. So for a race day shoe that maybe doesn't break the bank, so if you don't want to spring for the carbon fiber plate, no pun intended, you might want to go with the Speed.
What's the weight on these babies in the size 9?
So for a men's size 9, it comes in at 7.8 ounces, 221 grams. For a 160
That's
price
still
point,
pretty light.
It's pretty light and feels plenty fast enough to race in.
Yeah, and you just mentioned the 160 price point. I mean, that's pretty good for a shoe of this caliber at this point. It really is,
because it's an excellent shoe for race day tempo work. You're really gonna like it. Yeah. I wouldn't use this for daily miles.
That's kind of what they're saying though. Training that one, racing the Pro. Why wouldn't you use it for daily miles?
I don't know. For me personally, I felt like the plate system in it kind of messes up my gait. I just didn't feel. I felt a little bit off.
Like it was throwing you off?
Yeah, like I just felt my calves were a little bit tired afterwards, and it just wasn't what I wanted. The heel on this is actually, I felt a little bit unstable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And in fact, I have super weak ankles.
Swankles.
From years of skateboarding. Skate or die, bro. When I was taking turns or coming around corners, especially if I was going a little bit slower, I definitely felt that instability. And actually, I did roll my ankle once, so.
That's strange.
Yeah.
But I will say, I didn't run in the Speed, I ran in the Pro, and I would say the shoe doesn't feel as stable when going at slower paces, but when I was going faster, it did seem to kind of, it's a shoe that wants to go fast. So maybe some of that stability comes in if you're pushing the pace. The question I would have is about the upper.
Sure. Yeah, so the upper is made of their form fit technology, which is basically an engineered mesh with you got some 3D overlays here. It's really nice. I really liked it. Super breathable, super light, just felt completely locked down on the foot. It's really one of my favorite uppers in a while.
Wow.
It just felt really nice.
That's something.
The tongue is thin enough, and like Thomas said before, it's gusseted. Has this nice, like, kind of soft leather right here. I just like that.
Like a felt?
Yeah, like a felt leather type thing. It's nice. But yeah, I had absolutely no issues with the upper. And actually with this, you're gonna get a little bit more structure back here on the heel that you don't find on the Pro. So if you do want a touch more stability, you can find it there.
So that's 160. How much was the shift?
So the shift is actually 140.
Wow. So this at 140, this at 160. Now we're gonna bump up to the Big Daddy. While Robbie and I both got to run in the Pro, he didn't get to run in the Shift, I didn't run in the Speed. Megan got to run in all 3 of them. We shouldn't even done this video without her, but
Sorry, Meg.
she's she didn't want to come on.
Yeah.
She's social distancing from video.
She's 6 feet away from us.
Yeah. So let's get into this thing. I gotta tell you, of all the hype shoes and all the, shoes with plates in it, racing shoes, there's been one king, but I'm really, 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 really digging this shoe. So Robbie mentioned the price point on this. It's $200, which these days isn't as shocking as you would think for a fast day shoe. When marathons open back up and you have a race shoe that you can get into for $200, it almost seems like a bargain compared to some of the other things out there.
Yeah, I mean, Nike definitely set that bar up there with $250, now $275.
$275, yeah.
And so when you come in at $200, like, oh yeah, I'm saving so much money.
Yeah, this is a bargain. So let's get into this one. It has the same midsole, that Power Run PB, which I just find delightful. It almost sounds like styrofoam when you knock on it, but it feels like heaven under your feet. This upper fits great. You have a very thin tongue. I mean, this one's stripped down for racing, so the padding, a lot of the superfluous materials are left out, and it still is on that speed roll technology that we were talking about, but you can see like this is one rigid guy.
Yeah.
And the S plate, this time, it's carbon. I did some playing around in this shoe just on my normal Saturday runs.
Didn't you play two-hand touch football on these two?
No, that was in the shift. Okay. I had to wash the shoes after that. They got mud on them, but you can see they survived.
He's good at washing things.
Yeah, I should be hired. Anyway, coming into this, you got that gusseted tongue, you got a light, breathable upper, very minimal padding on the heel counter. I didn't have any issues with heel slip or anything like that. I didn't have to do the lockdown lacing. The shoe fits well. It feels light on the foot. That push through your stride. You got that nice landing with this material, and the carbon plate gives you that push forward. I found myself on a Saturday run where I wasn't sure how I was gonna run because Friday night got a little randy, and then I went out for the run, and I found myself, I was dropping down about 30 seconds faster per mile than I normally run my Saturday 10-mile runs.
Yeah.
And I was in the front of the pack. Granted, the pack was a little smaller, but
he was in front of the COVID-19 pack.
Yeah, we were up in front. But I found it real easy to stay at a faster pace more comfortably.
And I felt the same thing. Took it out for some everyday miles, but then threw in some really faster pace tempos, and I could pick it up, and my legs just felt fine, getting way below my 5K pace, and it was nice. I was surprised at how good it felt just springing off, and it didn't feel like I was hardly doing
it. It rolls through the stride. I thought maybe it was a fluke or maybe a placebo effect that I had such a great run. It was a double-digit run, and so I went back and I tried it again. And again, it felt really good. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the efficiency through your stride, the rolling off with the carbon plate, or just the lightweight materials. But this shoe, it's a real deal.
Yeah. So tell me, how did it compare to the Nike Next Percent for you? Since everyone kind of wants to know.
That's where I was thinking when I was writing it. For me, taking a look at it compared to a Nike Next Percent or the Vaporfly, this platform is more stable. It's got an 8mm drop like the Next Percent, but it just feels, maybe it's a lower stack that makes it feel more stable. There's something about this I thought, maybe this works better with my stride than the Nike. And
even with that extra weight bumped on top of it?
That's where I'm trying to debate on. We had a 5K scheduled for last Sunday that got canceled. So I was excited to try these out and see what would happen. This was going to be, it was between this and another shoe to go out and try that I'm also liking, but we can't talk about it yet. And I think I probably would have gone with this. It just feels familiar. It feels somewhat like that Next Percent.
I felt like with this, you also get that quick turnover.
Yeah.
It's just, you're going right through your
faster cadence.
Yeah.
The weight is an issue for me. I was wondering, so when I did that fast run, it was a little over 10 miles. It might've been 11 miles. The weight of the shoe towards the end, maybe I was starting to feel it, but at the end of the run, I'm always feeling a little tired. And I was thinking to myself, would I feel this at the end of a marathon? Would this weight make a difference? I'm gonna say no, because or maybe possibly.
I mean, but you're also running like 30 seconds faster.
Yeah.
than your typical pace.
Yeah, so maybe I'll get there faster and won't be as tired, but I'm really impressed with the shoes. Also, we haven't talked about this. I like the way they look.
I mean, they look awesome. Like, I don't even mind wearing these around, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Which, if you wear the next percent around, you're just trying to flaunt that you bought a $250 pair of shoes. These you could actually just wear.
I don't wear these casual yet. Maybe when they're dead.
These
I definitely like, yeah.
could.
And it's funny, I've gotten more compliments wearing these. Like, people are like, oh, what are those?
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the Endorphin lineup. And which would be your favorite, Rob?
I think, well, so I haven't been able to try the Shift yet. That's the one that I didn't get. But out of these two shoes, I do like the Pro more, just a touch more. I felt like it was more lively than the Speed. But they were both pretty great and felt super effortless through my run. I do want to give my hands to the Shift because it is a dope looking shoe.
Yeah. I don't know where I put the Speed in there, but these together, I don't know how long this midsole material lasts. I guess we'll find out and do an update.
Yeah.
But these together, easy day, fast workouts. I mean, this is a killer combo.
Yep.
Might as well get a shake with it.
You do it. Now, these were supposed to come out on July 1st. Obviously, things were going to be bumped up because of the Olympics. Now there's not going to be an Olympics as far as we know. So we're not really sure when these are coming out.
Yeah. And that brings up a good point. Like, we're not sure. Like, at first, when all this stuff's going on, we're like, are shoe reviews relevant and this and that? Right now, a lot of people are still able to get out there and run. And we feel like we're providing some entertainment value regardless. So we're going to do our part to try to continue to bring relevant content to you.
Even if it is from Tom's Scout.
Yeah, we're sitting in our living room here instead of the office. And as long as we can keep providing you with videos, we will. We're trying to get as much content out on the website that makes sense right now. And we hope to be here with you through this. Smash that like button, subscribe to us on YouTube to see more content.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do all the things. We're putting out as much content as we can through this whole thing, which could last for 2 weeks or a year. So
yeah,
whatever, we'll still be here.
We don't know. Yeah, we haven't even started hoarding toilet paper yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
I definitely haven't
maybe
been doing
one
that.
of us. Doing this normal stuff
We'll
keeps
keep,
us sane.
We'll keep wearing Endorphin Pros so you don't have to.
Yeah, we'll get through this. Maybe a little faster, but we'll get through it. What's up next? And I actually didn't run in it, but
There's one Prince now.
yeah. Which one? Oh yeah.
Is this the Prince? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought you were talking the royal family, how the one went to Canada and he's no longer a prince. But then I went back to like the singer Prince and he's gone too. So I don't know.
It was you just cut the whole royalty thing. And you threw a shoe at Rachel's face. Rachel, we wish you were here so we could throw a shoe through your face.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do the shoe throw because if we do it,
breaking your television.
television or stuff is back there. So no shoe throw today. Deal with it. Crotch shot.